Don't get in my way now.
Can Ryung do it? That is what everyone is waiting to find out. He is the last player for Slayers here of the final, man, the last Terran standing. And he is up against Younghwa, just 1 point away from taking the all-kill.
And it's Ryung's worst matchup.
Yeah.
If you look at his entire gaming history, it's the matchup that he historically struggles the most. He was defeated by Hero in his Code S group. He won against Oz though. And the up and downs was the one match that he was able to take. So we'll find out if he is up again, up to the task, up to battle this guy to the right side, who has been playing so well so far, taking down MMA. Younghwa is looking really unbeatable. And if he takes another win, he will have all kills Slayers.
Yeah, he's I mean, we've said it a million times, but he just looks like no one can touch him right now. And the Team League especially, but outside of that, he's doing well right now as well. I'm excited for this guy's future. He's finally been able to break out where he was not able to do in the past.
I said it before the season, I want to repeat it once again. If I get my personal wish, then I want to have a Team League final between StarTale and LGIM. These two teams, to me personally, look like the strongest teams these days.
Yeah, they have the strongest sponsorship as well. They are just definitely the two big name teams right now. No one would argue that. I think that they're definitely the biggest and strongest. They are not invincible, but I think that they're the ones that everyone is looking at the most closely right now. Slayers was one of those teams that was looking really good, but they lost a lot of their players. There's a lot of stuff moving around over there, and nobody really knows what's going on. But Ryung, can he do this? He's got to beat 4 players, and Younghwa is the first one. This is the GSTL LGIM against Slayers, cast by Caldor and Wolf.
Well, this rebel to the bottom right, he certainly has a cause. He has several. It's not only about the greater scheme of things, taking the win in the team battle. No, he wants to avoid the all-kill. This is the last player for Slayers. This is
Slayers, Leon!
This is the last stand. He's up against the Protoss in the blue in the top left. Such a great LGIM Protoss. His ID is
LGIM, Younghwa!
one thing that I'm not really sure of. Probably they don't count, but those preliminary matches that we've casted so far, do they count for the individual standings in the Team League? If they do, who can actually catch up with Younghwa?
Actually, that's a really good question. I'm thinking they probably are not counted, but
Which would be a shame.
it would be a shame for him, but maybe he just all kills the next team he faces anyways. He's like, whatever. He's like, every time I play, I all kill. It's no big deal.
It's a little bit crazy, but he already has 4 wins so far. This is his 5th game in the regular season. Younghwa to the top left and Ryung at the bottom right. He's sending out the first SCV to scout. What is he going to pull off on this map? Drop play is what most Terran players rely on here, and this is of course something that Protoss players know. Usually we see a pylon to the left side of the map. We see additional probes, scouting, observers being positioned in order to intercept drops as soon as possible. What exactly will Ryung do here? He can also just move forward with siege tanks, for example.
He is going to have to make a delayed command center and a faster bunker because he scouted with his SCV that the Zealot was chrono boosted out very early. So he's not going to be able to take that command center. He's actually deciding to make it on the high ground rather than putting on the low ground at all. He just knows that getting that bunker up is such a challenge against this kind of quick Zealot pressure. So this is one way that Younghwa can kind of push Ryung back a little bit.
This is also something that he did really well. Just imagine if he would have decided to actually build the command center on the low ground before scouting that the Zealot is going his way. And suddenly he has to micro against the Zealot with his Marines. He has to be careful that the SCV is not being picked off by the Zealot. So the decision to build it on the high ground is a good one. He doesn't lose too much time here, can build the command center, and will of course only lose the time that it takes to fly the command center over to the mineral line.
And right now he's getting the double gas, the 2-2 gas type build going, so he will actually be able to saturate both of those very soon. In fact, he's already done it after the Nexus. And this is just a great build for Younghwa right now. And the Zealot pressure just really puts you ahead a little bit if you're able to get that Nexus down.
Ryung came to the studio a little bit late today. Not too late for the games to start, of course, but he came roughly 10 minutes before the first game started. And, well, they were in the makeup room and he was getting his makeup and everything. And the Slayers players, they joked around a little bit. He was asking when he would have to play today, when they would think that he would have to make an appearance. And everyone was immediately like, no, today you're the ace player, you're the ace player. And they joked about it. And you could really tell that they wanted him to come out maybe in some kind of scenario where it's a 4-4 score. But this is now a different situation. This is not only a lot of pressure, but I feel that it has to burden him a little bit that his team is down right now, and even if he takes a win here, the threat of being eliminated or losing this team match in general is just so huge that I feel it might affect his play.
I absolutely think that it will. You know, it's a high-press situation in so many different ways. He's going to go up to 3 barracks here and is adding an eBay, just 1, which indicates he's probably going for that medevac push. This is a great map for that. There's so many different ways you can elevate her into the main. Try to go for drop play and catch your opponent off guard if he doesn't split his units well. If he tries to cut too many stalkers out of the build so he can't deny those medevacs.
The Marines trying to sneak past. The vision has not been seen. Does he see the Marines?
He pulls away immediately, actually. Great reaction. A lot better than a lot of crosses we've seen recently. He will lose the sentries, though.
Yeah, he will lose both. Really well played here. I have to say that this was really impressive by Ryung. Definitely a trade that he is willing to do. Because right now he takes on 2 sentries. Yeah. All the gas has been wasted. And now Younghwa has to make the decision. Do I go for additional sentries or do I delay my tech? And he goes for the tech.
Yeah, going for the robotic support bay immediately. And that was so well reacted by Younghwa. It took him less than a second to realize, okay, the Marines are here. There's nothing I can do to save my sentries. Drops the forces up so he can kill all the Marines no matter what, and they can't escape. But he made use of those sentries. But a great attack, great targeting, and really, really nice micro in general by Ryung there. It's really important for him to know about this tech, though.
And this is one of the things this Marine run by that we have seen on Ohana so often. One of the first Terran players that did it was, of course, Keen. He also did it at DreamHack. And here's a nice pickoff. He sees the Observer moving in his main base, decides to take it down with a scan. Very well done by Ryung, whereas Younghwa is now heading for his double forge to get those upgrades out. He's already a little bit behind since Ryung has his engineering bay. Had it for quite a while and is nearly done with the +1 attack timing.
How much damage will he do with this push is the question. With the Colossus tech coming out here, he's going to have his first Colossus around the same time. Actually, he's going to have it, even the second one started, before the medevacs get there, most likely here. And that means that as long as he positions it well, he can defend. But we've seen a lot of the time, sometimes because the Colossus can walk over cliffs, if you go to defend this and you kind of 1A or something, your Colossi can get caught by a bunch of Marauders and Marines.
The bigger problem for me, what I'm really a bit afraid of, is that Ryung will have no chance of actually doing some damage. I mean, now your hopes bank on drop bay being successful. One of the things that Marine King said, for example, is that a drop in this map against Protoss with 4 Marauders is really strong and is something that can completely cripple a Protoss player. But Younghwa has pylons positioned everywhere. In the main base, you see that the minimap, we have a lot of pylons positioned at the cliff. He also has a few units in his main base to intercept drop play. So this is something that Ryung won't be able to use. And the observer scouting that we see on the map is also excellent by Younghwa. He knows when his opponent is moving out, and he has a great vision, even a pylon to the bottom right, not only to spot medivacs, but also an option of warping in units later on.
By the way, a scan, where was that scan? Okay, so take out an observer. I thought he wanted to scan the tech. Because right now he doesn't really know exactly what Younghwa is up to. Younghwa's tech structures are actually all powered by one pylon at the top left of his base, so That's, I mean, talk about all your eggs in one basket. That is the money spot where Ryung would want to take out that pylon and potentially the structures as well. But it is very far to the back. It's going to be hard for him to get to that location. This first drop is not going to be for attacking tech. It's going to be to try to pick off pylons, pick off units, and just trade efficiently, not kill the Protoss, but just cripple him slightly.
And the question is, of course, will he be able to pull it off? There we have the units seen by the factory, and he has everything in position to defend against it. Nice pick-off here with the Observer. Really well done by Ryung. This is so important that he try to make sure that there is no detection. There's just no scouting information for the Protoss.
A great little Marine Scout over here to the right side reveals the probe was attempting to take the Nexus, and uh-oh, this is a mistake. I don't think this is a good idea at all. He loses just a few units here, but that was certainly a mistake. Must have been misclick.
Yeah, I don't think that was intentional. He probably just tried to walk to the right, maybe a mistake with the pathing, especially the units that walked up the ramp at the natural. That seemed a little bit too awkward to be intentional. But look at the upgrades that we have for Yonghwa. He's going for +2/+2. He gets his third Nexus as well. In terms of upgrades, he does very well. Ryung, on the other hand, he is definitely missing out on upgrades. Now the +2 attack upgrade has been started.
Ryung has got to be so careful with his units right now. He already lost a few. He's floating around the map with his Vikings. He almost lost one. He's trying to pick some off of these bars. Nice pick up there, saves them. But he's going to be oh so careful because he's got a third base up. He's had it up faster, but the army of his opponent is very well upgraded. He's, with Chrono Boost, going to be able to pull even further ahead if he continues to spend those. And he cannot afford to lose a single unit right now in a situation where he's trying to catch up an army with that faster third base he's got.
Another problem is that we don't see the Ghost Academy added, so the Templars are ready, and we have Storm nearly being done. He needs a Ghost Academy if he wants to pull this off. This drop to the top right with the Marauders is exactly what I talked about earlier. It's just so great to take down Harvesters. This is what Marine King was talking about when he said that a Marauder drop is so strong on this map in particular.
Yeah, it really is. It's just a great spot. You leave the drop shot to the top right. You don't have a Phoenix, you're not taking that drop out. He's just going to get it away every time. There's so much dead space up at the top right of the map. And that's why this map is what he was talking about.
That's a Ghost Academy now. A little bit later than expected and hoped for.
The Storms are ready on these Templar. He hits one. It doesn't really do too much damage, but it pushes this army back. Ryung's army here is way too small. He's got not enough anti-air actually to protect his Colossi though.
He has to rely on the Storms, you are so right. That's the only thing that he has. He needs a few more Stalkers to make this work. But this is a very clutch game. You can really see that both of them are still at the same amount of supply. The upgrades are a little bit better for Yonghwa, who just completed +2/+2. Starts the third attack upgrade, and I guess armor will follow very soon.
And these Stalkers are not with the army really. He's added a few more in. He needs to have all of his Stalkers if he wants to actually fight him directly so he can take out those Medevacs as well as the Vikings. He's got the rest of his Stalkers to the north to deter that Marauder drop that was being kind of a pain in his side a little bit.
The longer this game progresses, the more important it is going to be how effective those Ghosts are against the High Templars. With good Storms and good positioning, a Protoss player can take a Terran army apart if it consists of bio units. So that's going to be one of the most important things. If a Protoss player, for example, gets into a good position at the third phase, he can make sure that the reinforcements will run into Storms the entire time. And look at these Storms.
Oh my god, he hits all the bio and even a little bit of hit points shaved off of those Vikings.
Kills his own High Templar here. The last two Storms were not too great, but the initial one, that hit home. And now he can just move in. He knows that the army is on a low HP. For Ryung, that is.
The Colossi firing through a bunch of trees across there. It just shows how they can utilize their range if you have vision.
Oh, +3/+3 is halfway done as Ryung just starts this +3 attack upgrade. Very far behind in upgrades. There is a timing that Yonghwa can use. Now the Ghosts are here. The Storm goes off, of course not taking down the Marauders, but at least doing some damage. The High Templar did not die in vain.
Yes. And he doesn't have... Neither player has a fourth base, but Ryung has a fourth command center started, and he can lower it down as soon as he kills the pylon to that really awesome place as a Terran player to take a fourth, because if you get attacked, you can lift back up with your main, you kind of have a safety net there. But this is a really bad timing to attack Yonghwa. Well, If his 3-3 finishes before the attack, that's what's actually possibly going to decide this game.
Right now they are on even upgrades. They are both on +2/+2, but that will change in just a few seconds. The +3 attack upgrade has been completed. So will armor in just a few seconds, and I think this is exactly what Younghwa is waiting for.
Yeah, and if Ryung decides to attack here, he's really going to regret it.
Link is done.
Oh, now he's up the ramp.
+3 armor is also done.
He's going to have this concave, Ryung will, but the upgrades may just be too much.
The upgrades are crazy now. 3-3 against 2-2, a huge advantage here for him. And he's spreading his army out. He's trying to make this work. He's moving in.
Half of his army is out of position. And this is terrible. He's fighting a full army with half of his army with worse upgrades. This is the best thing that Younghwa could hope for. And he is just tearing through his army.
The Vikings are gone. Every single Viking is gone. There's nothing actually to pressure them anymore. He's moving in with the Colossi. He's taking down everything that Ryung has. The Terran player stimming once again, but he lost so much already. And he's blinking. He's chasing him down. He's taking Marauders apart. Oh my god.
And he's just destroyed him. Younghwa is going to get the all kill that he wants. There's no way for him to hold here.
The 4th base is being taken by Younghwa. He is still ahead in upgrades. He's on 3-3. Ryung still on 2-2. And Younghwa, he makes this work at 163 supply against 120. He is in the better position. He warps in more units. He gets speed for his Warp Prison. 10 additional High Templars are being warped in. Oh wow, Ryung just took such a hit.
Yeah, 5 Archons being morphed right now, and he's getting that shield upgrade for those. +2 is about to finish for ships, as well as 3-3 for Ryung, but the damage has already been done. I'm a little bit surprised the fact Younghwa's not killing the base to the south, which also has the Ghost Academy.
2 Medivacs, that's all that Ryung has at this point, and he has to make the decision between Vikings and Medivacs. And of course he needs the Vikings. He knows that there are still too many Colossi, but he won't have the Medivacs. Even Mana Next is being built.
Yeah, he's actually making a train here.
Not really a fan of this move, to be honest with you, but still. He's just showing how far ahead in this game he is.
Yeah, he killed one of his own probes so he can make another High Templar. And he drops another Nexus that will actually be killed immediately. And this is not the best angle of engagement, but he just has too much stuff. The Colossi are going to be picked off by these Marauders to the side, but there's just not enough Ryung. There's too much Younghwa.
There is way too much Younghwa. He's moving in with the Archons, leading the charge with them, blocking the Colossi. There are still no Vikings. He only has 2 on the map. That is not enough to deal with all this anti-air. The Nexus, he can actually just let them finish. He will most likely. He's still at 170 supply. The Mana Mules, get out of my game. GG. And Slayers has been all killed by Younghwa, taking down Dark, MMA, Mia, Genius, and Ryung.
The only player to get a point on the scoreboard for Slayers was Dark. And Ryung not looking happy, but it was a tough opponent they had to face today, and its name was actually Younghwa.
And one thing is that, I mean, motivation in the Slayers team must be at 0 right now.
It's an all-time low, I would say, for 100%.
They lost the final to Gumiho, and now they lost the first match that they had to play in the current season against Younghwa. So they were back-to-back. They were team killed back-to-back. Also,
yes. And this is just the team morale is, like you said, it's just going to be at the worst possible it's ever been. There's so much shifting going on, so many injured players, so many players like shifting around. There's been a lot of drama. Boxer leaves. This team is falling apart.
Yeah, Puzzle, he can't play anymore. He resigns from NASL and from GSL. Now you have all these new faces on the bench that try to just step up, and a lot of them showed a lot of potential, but in the end it was one player defeating them. That happened to them in the final of the last season, and this is the first game that they play in the current season, and once again they are getting team killed. This will make for a lot of jokes in the Korean community.
Yeah, I think so. And not only in Korea, I think worldwide, man, people are going to be talking about Slayers getting owned, basically. I don't think a team has been this owned in a long time.
It's just depressing. I mean,
it is. It's a bit saddening. This team was, a big fan favorite for a long time. They had so many players in the GSL. They still have so many, players scattered around in Code A, for example. And it's funny because when we come to cast, we always know Cell is going to be there for the most part. Even if we don't know who's playing, it's like there's probably going to be a Slayers player there. Cell is probably going to be at the studio. And even though they're in the individual league, they can have a bunch of players spread around, and Code A, Code S. They're starting to kind of dissolve and become smaller and, less of a big deal in the scene here.
Yeah, it's definitely becoming a concern. Of course, let's be honest about who they face today. They face the strongest team, but being all killed is, of course, a really, really big problem. The Protoss players for GAM, MC, and Younghwa today. Not a surprise that Younghwa is the MVP.
It's like it's actually MCs. Like I lost on purpose. You guys could see Younghwa all kill.
Well, the first time that anyone all killed twice in a row was apparently today, so he's really happy that he was able to pull it off in the that he could win for his team.
2연속 올킬에다가 GSTL 통산 다승 1위 그리고 10연승으로 연승 공동 1위입니다. 어떡하실 거예요? 아니 어떻게 된 거예요? 비결이 뭡니까?
He should change his nickname. LJM All Kill. He has the most wins in GSTL with 10 straight wins.
Yep, so it sounds like they're going to count those from earlier.
He was practicing very well and his condition was really good recently. He went to a lot of foreign tournaments and it was a very good experience for him.
오늘 올킬할 수 있겠다 이런 생각이 좀 들던가요?
문성환 선수가 제 상대하기 까다로운데 문성환 선수를 이제 잡아내면서
MMA today was the hardest opponent for him.
알겠습니다. 자, 커뮤니티의 의견을 조금 보면요.
Yeah, and after he defeated MMA, he was definitely thinking about the all kill and thought that it was possible for him to take down the entire Slayers team.
I think that's very true. It seemed to be the player who gave him the most trouble as well. It was a very close game.
Yeah, indeed.
되게 자신 있었는데 다음 예선을 잘해야죠.
네, 알겠습니다. 다음 예선 꼭.
He was really confident going into preliminaries of the individual league, the Code A qualifier that he played, but in the end he lost in the final. He lost to Baby. He was a little bit disappointed about it, but he will give his best to qualify next season.
Now here, of course, is the IM coach, known as Hirai. That's his ID.
3연승으로 자신감도 많이 찾았고 저희 팀도 안정권에 좀 들어가지 않았나.
In the past GSTLs, we lost a lot of matches, and our players weren't that confident in the GSTL. Recently, we got 3 wins, so our players are gaining confidence. We're getting a lot of, our entire team is feeling good about this season.
그동안 원체 져서요. 이제는 질 만큼 져봤기 때문에 이제는 이길 것만 남은 것 같아요. 질 때 져봐야지.
네, 맞습니다. 자,
he doesn't think of today's match as like a revenge match, but he's just got so many teams that have beaten him in the past. So basically, he's like, if he has to call this one a revenge match, he has to call a lot of teams a revenge match. So he's not really seeing it like that. He just wants to get his team the wins they need.
선수들도 자신 있어 하고 누가 올라오든 재밌는 경기 될 것 같습니다.
네, 오늘 경기 이렇게 이겨왔고 내일 행사.
He says he doesn't really care too much about which team plays him in the next round, but he says that StarTale would be the most difficult opponent.
I'd say so.
I think so too.
IM 팀과 엔비디아가 함께하는 행사가 있습니다. 여러분 많이 와주시고요. 보시면은 저희 창단 때.
And he wants to remind everyone that at 1 p.m. tomorrow in the Mokdong studio there is going to be a LGIM fan meeting, and they're going to sell uniforms to the fans tomorrow. So if you want to come down, definitely do that.
네, 알겠습니다.
They're also going to have some prizes, he says. So
감사합니다.
I might actually come and check that out. It's always cool when teams allow fans to interact with them directly, and I think that if you have the opportunity to, definitely come to the studio tomorrow at 1 p.m. and check that out.
Yeah, I'll probably be there. I didn't even know about that.
No, I didn't know either.
It was the first time that I heard about it. But it's pretty cool, so if you are in Seoul, definitely make sure that you come to the Mukdong studio tomorrow. And we are having a quick look at today's results.
Let's take a look at they are. Of course, Dark was able to take the only map for Slayers on Daybreak. Then he lost to Younghwa. MMA came out and gave Younghwa a little bit of trouble, but once he took him out, he just destroyed the next 3 players he faced. Mia, Genius, and Ryung just looked like they didn't have a chance.
all kill by Younghwa, really, really well played. Now the next game is going to happen next Friday. TSL versus Prime.
Should be a pretty cool lineup
Yes.
of players on that night. And then after that, the next day, in the early afternoon, it's going to be StarTale versus MVP. And I forgot to mention that's actually, we're going to have a week break because of Korean Thanksgiving. So make sure that you actually tune in the following weekend, not next weekend.
Exactly. So next week we won't have any GSTL because of, as Wolf mentioned, the Korean holiday.
And so make sure you spend your Korean Thanksgiving with your family and, you know, be thankful and all that.
And of course, next Tuesday we have, well, we don't have GSTL next week, but we still have, of course, Code A, for example, on a Tuesday. So you can tune in for that. It's once again going to be a double broadcast. The first one starting at 1 p.m. and the second one then at 6 p.m. So definitely tune in for that. And yeah, this is it for the day. So guys, go on Twitter. You can add the two of us, at ProxyWolf and at Kaldor. And we will be back with Code A and then, of course, also with the GSTL. So check out GOMTV.net for the next scheduled games. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. See you soon.
You can never be on your way, only by